Keir Starmer has resisted growing calls within the Labour Party for tax increases to finance additional welfare, suggesting that details regarding a potential change to the winter fuel allowance will be revealed soon. The Prime Minister dismissed leftist demands for wealth taxes aimed at increasing spending on benefits and services, arguing that the current tax burden is already substantial. Hello viewers, welcome to UK Pancakes. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell so you don't miss any insights about UK elites. However, he indicated that there may be an opportunity to address the two-child benefit cap and hinted that an announcement regarding winter fuel payments could be imminent, possibly during the spending review next week. These remarks came after a Survation poll revealed that 2/3 of Labour MPs are against Chancellor Rachel Reeves' fiscal policies, with 1/5 supporting tax increases over spending cuts. A backlash is developing over proposed restrictions on disability benefits, as the Treasury struggles to manage finances amid a stagnant economy and increasing calls for more defence funding. It was reported that Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner advocated for tax increases rather than cuts to welfare before the spring statement. The political threat to Sir Keir was highlighted last week when Nigel Farage outmaneuvered him by pledging to eliminate the two-child cap and fully restore winter fuel payments. The Reform Party has seen a rise in popularity since the local elections, outpacing both Labour and the Conservatives in the polls. In an interview on BBC Radio 4's Today programme, Sir Keir stated, "I want to reassess the eligibility threshold. That's certain. I will be clear about that. I believe it was our responsibility to stabilise the economy and address that £22 billion deficit, and I won't shy away from that." He emphasised that ministers must clearly outline the funding sources before detailing any partial reversal on the winter fuel payment. Nonetheless, he suggested that changes would be announced soon and implemented for this winter. "I understand your point that if we want to reassess which pensioners qualify, we need clarity on that as soon as possible," he said. When asked about the increasing speculation regarding the potential removal of the two-child benefit cap, he replied, "I don't see this as a simple solution. I want to be upfront about that. There are numerous factors contributing to child poverty, so I don't adopt a binary perspective. It's either this or nothing." That said, as we move forward with this review, I am committed to ensuring that this Labour government reduces child poverty, and I am determined to achieve that. How much more humiliation can Rachel Reeves endure? Labour MPs are speculating that the Chancellor may soon be dismissed, with some suggesting that Rachel might not be present to deliver the autumn budget statement in October. This could be partly wishful thinking, as some Labour politicians may be hoping for her departure, viewing her as a liability. Others have a more complex perspective, believing that the real issue lies with Number 10, which is struggling with direction and communication with both the public and the parliamentary party. They argue that Sir Keir Starmer took on the Labour leadership to rescue the party from the influence of Jeremy Corbyn's supporters but lacked a clear vision for what he would do as Prime Minister. Consequently, this Labour government has become synonymous with confusion and controversy surrounding benefit cuts, attacks on pensioners and farmers, and threats to reduce departmental spending, all areas where Ms. Reeves plays a significant role. The next major event for the Treasury will be the spending review on June 11th, during which the Chancellor will outline budget allocations for the upcoming years. This will impact everything from school funding to road upgrades. If the spending review fails, both the Prime Minister and the Chancellor will face pressure, but typically, it is not the Prime Minister who bears the brunt of the blame in such situations. How did we arrive at this point? The decline began almost immediately after Labour took office when Ms. Reeves announced the removal of winter fuel payments for over 9 million pensioners. This was one of the first significant decisions made by the new government, certainly the most memorable except perhaps for her simultaneous announcement of above-inflation pay increases for public sector workers, including 5.5% for NHS staff and teachers. These pay increases cost £9.5 billion, while eliminating winter fuel payments saved only £1.3 billion in the first year. The issue was not just that the policy was unpopular, the government also had little else to discuss. There were no immediate benefits or measures that would improve the average voter's situation unless they were teachers or nurses. Instead, the government began signaling tax increases in the Chancellor's first budget, warning of a need to address a black hole in public finances. Former Labour leader Tony Blair's theme song was "Things Can Only Get Better," while former Conservative leader David Cameron once proclaimed, "Let sunshine win the day." However, there was no such optimism from Keir and Rachel. They indicated that things could only worsen. But this was just the beginning. When the budget was finally presented, it included an increase in employer national insurance contributions, effectively a tax on jobs. Aren't jobs supposed to be a positive thing? Farmers have been severely impacted by changes to inheritance tax, putting the future of family farms at risk. It's well known in Westminster that Environment Secretary Steve Reed opposed the idea, but his concerns were overlooked. Additionally, the Chancellor played a significant role in the decision to cut personal independence payments for hundreds of thousands of individuals with disabilities or long-term illnesses. This is part of a broader set of benefit changes that the government claims will push an additional 250,000 people into poverty. So where is the positive news? What benefits is the country receiving in exchange for all this hardship? Some Labour politicians contend that there is indeed a positive narrative to share. They point out that the government is working to repair Britain's failing rail system and enhance bus services. They argue that the focus on investing in infrastructure and reducing bureaucratic obstacles to enable the UK to construct more power stations and factories is precisely what the economy requires. However, the government is failing to effectively communicate any of this to its own MPs or the general public. Thanks for watching till the end. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. We hope to see you in our next UK Pancakes.